Okay, so having had a couple of days to reflect on all the various page elements you've got, and you've got those 2 pages parked there, so you can always go back to them and look at the individual tutorials for individual page elements there. We're going to crack on and get back to the doing for all of our sleeves, and we're going to set up recurring payments. So we've covered single payment. I'll pay you $100 for whatever it might be. This is recurring, so it's $10 a month, or $30 every 3 months, or £100 a year, or whatever it is you want to do. This could be as an alternative to a single payment, perhaps. Instead of $99, you pay $33 a month if that's more affordable, or whatever reason. So this is all about how we set up those recurring payments. Particularly useful in terms of membership areas, maybe fun courses, which we're going to cover tomorrow, how to set up a fully functional course, just as I did with this bootcamp, and charge for it obviously. But today we're going to look at those recurring payments. Okay, let's go and have a look at our page. Now, this is mine, and I'm going to produce this here, so I'm just going to get rid of that so we start from scratch. Now, your page, I suspect by now, will be completely different. I hope so. But you may be working through with me, in which case that's fair enough. So I'm going to add a second button under here, just as you just saw, for a recurring payment. Now I'm going to use a button. As you know, you can use a button or an image for taking payments. I'll stick with button. And let's just do some quick editing to make it look reasonable. So I like my quick style. I'm going to make it orange. I'm going to pay $10 a month, whatever, just for demonstration. I'm going to make it a click in. When they click on it on the screen, it pushes in, and we'll add a little shadow. Okay, that's cool. And then let's get it to the same width. Right, let me put my specs on so I can see what I'm doing, and we will go through and set up payment. So setting up payment, just as you did with single payment, up the top of the config bar here. Same with live or test. You've got your Stripe details in already if you're using the same funnel. If there's a brand new funnel you started with, don't forget you've got to put your Stripe details in, which we covered on the single payment last week, so just review that if you need to. Other than that, we're going to set up what you're selling. So it's the same pop-up box as with the single payment. I'll put in my $10 a month, $10 a month, and we'll stop there with the grey box. Below it, we're going to come on tomorrow, buying access to a funnel, course or membership area. Park that for now. This is just about setting up the recurring ones. Where am I going to go next? Well, I'm just going to choose a thank you page. Whatever the page is within your funnel, that's what you choose there. Right, now, recurring payments. That's what this left-hand grey box is all about. When you sell something as a single item, as long as you've got your Stripe details put in, your API keys, you can just fill in that grey box on the screen and job done. What we're going to do here is pop back to Stripe, because we're going to need to set up what's called a pricing plan, because Stripe controls that. So let's just pop back to Stripe here, and I'll stay on live at the moment. I'm going to go to billing down the left hand side, and on billing I go to products, and let's get this terminology right. A product in Stripe terms is something that you are selling. That can be a excuse my beeping, and that can be a consultant service, it can be a widget, it can be a funnel course, it can be an online course, it can be a membership area, whatever it is. So I'm going to go ahead and set up a new product for my consultancy service, whatever it might be. Just give it a name. Click on create product. Ignore the others. Create product. And I log in again because I need to. Okay, a nickname. $10. No, this is not the pricing. Sorry, let me take a breath. You've just created a product. Every product has to have one or more pricing plan. A pricing plan is how you're going to charge for that product. So if my consultancy service is the product, one pricing plan is $10 a month. I could also charge maybe $25 every 3 months, or $80 every 12 months or a year to give an incentive, that sort of thing. So I could have 1, 2, 3, as many pricing plans as I want for that product. So when you set up a product, you have to have a pricing plan, and that's what Stripe's doing here. It's saying thank you for adding a product. Before you do any more, add a pricing plan. It makes me add a pricing plan straight away. So my plan is $10 a month. That's my first pricing plan for this product. ID, leave the ID blank, and I'll tell you why in a second. Let's skip on otherwise. It's a recurring quantity, it's dollars, it's $10 per thing, and it's going to be monthly. And here you can choose, instead of a custom, but mine's monthly. And that's it. That's all you need to do. Click on Add Pricing Plan, and boom, you've done it. So now what do we have now? We have our product, which is a consultancy service, and we have our first pricing plan, which is $10 a month, down here. And then we can add more and more pricing plans if we wanted to. I'm not going to, but you could if you wanted to. Now, if I show you this, this is the product ID. You don't need that. You do not need the product ID. A common mistake is to copy and paste that. Do not. It starts with a prefix, prod, for product. You don't want that. You want to click on the pricing plan itself, which comes up with the pricing plan, which has an ID of plan underscore as a prefix. And that's why I left the ID blank, because Stripe will by default give your pricing plan its ID with plan at the front. Very good way just to leave it, because you know you're using the right thing. This is the biggest mistake people make when adding a pricing plan for a recurring payment. They copy something other than the plan ID for the pricing plan. Not the product, the pricing plan. Okay, sorry, I labour that point because it's often a common mistake, which is an easy mistake to rectify. Okay, so we now have our product's pricing plan ID, which on our page gets us down to here. Plan ID, that's what we want. So I'll leave that in the tab. We'll leave that, that's parked on a different tab on my browser. We'll come back to that in a minute. Let's go back to our page. We're now going to set up our payment, which is just a matter on this grey box here, putting our live Stripe pricing plan ID in that box there. So I take that, I copy it, and that goes in there. No spaces at the end, no spaces at the start. Copy and paste it exactly on the screen. That will link T4s to Stripe and tell Stripe to initiate the recurring invoicing for payment on whatever basis you've chosen, $10 a month or whatever. That's what you have to do. That's recurring payments. I will also, because I like to test things in test mode with Stripe before I launch any funnel, on Stripe I will go to test data and I will repeat the process. I go to products, I create a new product, I call it consultancy service. Don't do anything else, I create product, it immediately asks me for my first pricing plan, just as before, $10 a month, leave ID blank, everything else just as before. Boom, 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 monthly, done. Add pricing plan. So we now have a test one. This, remember, is our product. We do not want prod underscore, that's a product ID. We click on the pricing plan and we want to copy that plan ID. We're in test mode. This is our test ID and we pop that in there. And now I have my live and my test Stripe plan for recurring payments linked in with this payment button. Save. That's it. You now have a recurring plan set up. They click on that, they pay. Let's go ahead and do it. Preview. Click on there. Off it goes to Stripe. Remember, we're in test mode, so I've got tests on the screen here, and it's now saying subscribe for $10 per month. Click on that, off they go. Job done. All right. So it's not difficult. A couple of gotchas in there just to keep your eye on there. Plan underscore, it's a pricing plan ID you need to copy across. I think I've said that enough times now. Right. I'm going to add one more thing to the video here because it's worth knowing. On here, let's say we wanted to say this is for, let me just put it on the screen to explain, for 3 months. So you want to stop them paying after 3 months. Now Stripe does not support that functionality, annoyingly. So I built it into T4s so we can control it here. So what we do, and that is the last thing down here. Stop Stripe subscription plan payments after X number of days, optional. T4s can be told by doing this, told to tell Stripe to cancel the recurring payments. So after the third one, it will stop. I'm hoping that Stripe will add this to it at some point. It doesn't at the moment, which is why it's in T4s for your convenience. How do you do that? Well, you calculate the number of days after which the first payment is made on which to cancel their recurring payments so they don't pay anymore. The way you do that is as follows. I want $10 a month for 3 months. Okay, so day 1, after 30-ish days, they'll pay day 2. After another 30-ish days, they'll pay day 3. 30, 60. Okay, day 1, day 30-ish, day 60-ish. And I say ish because it doesn't matter too much, because we've got a whole month in between before they trigger the next payment. So after 1, 30, 60 days, I want to stop it payment. To take into account that some months have 31 days, so it could be 62, 2 months of 31, 62, I'll say after 65 days I'll cancel it. Because that is way, way, way before they would make their fourth payment. That would be after 90 odd days. So 65 or 70 or 80 days, as long as it's before the next payment, that's fine. 0, 31, 62, add a few days for the hell of it. Let's put in here 65. And on the 65th day after the first payment, T4s will tell Stripe to cancel that recurring payment for me. And we click on save. Alright? That's the bonus tip, if you like. Now you might say to me, well, how do I find out what people have been cancelled? If I click on set up what you're selling again, down here you can check on pending cancellations. And these are all ones here that are due for cancellation and when they're due to be cancelled. So, blah, 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 all of these ones here due to be cancelled on the 3rd of December. Alright, click on close. So people have started and you've decided to finish after X number of days. You can also, if I just come out of here, I'll save all of that. On Stripe integration on your funnel manager, check on pending cancellations, exactly the same thing, okay, and that will allow you to check on when cancellations are due. Okay, and that, my friend, is recurring payments. Tomorrow, exciting day, we're going to look at setting up a course and how to lock the various pages and how to charge people to access it.